welcome into PrizePicks on 5 here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Skolnick. You can follow me at Ethan J. Skolnick or at 5 Reasons Sports. We're going to remind you that you're going to use that code 5, right? F-I-V-E. Make your deposit F-I-V-E. Spell it out. Make your deposit. You'll get your deposit matched. So why would you not use the code 5? It doesn't make any sense. All right, we're here for Thursday Night Football. David W. Eversole is producing tonight. He's with us in spirit. He does have a pick that he sent us. But I got our other guy, David Friedman. You can follow him at Taco Bout Sports. And we're going to get into some of these Thursday night props. Actually, finally a decent Thursday night game, something that's actually watchable before, just making your picks. But it's not a game I think a lot of people are going to want to keep an eye on. We've got the Seahawks. We've got the Rams in the best division in football. I think it's pretty clear, at least one of the two best divisions in football. David, I'm going to let you start this time, and then I'll give you my projection.
So I did. I was kind of 1A and 1B, and we talked about this before. Like we all went Seattle. Mm-hmm. My Seattle pick is Russell Wilson over on passing yards. I think he's at 265.5. Mm-hmm. Reasoning. Look, I mean, you look at the rankings and the yards given up. Like the Rams don't get run on, and they have one of the highest passing yards given up, and that's because other teams have to sort of attack them that way. Mm-hmm. You look at Arizona, how they beat them last week. They didn't run the ball at all, basically. So. I mean, I'm going Russ on that. I almost went completions on him, but I feel like the yards will be safe on him. I don't really see Seattle, and we'll touch on this after. I don't see Seattle running the ball a whole lot.
No.
Not successfully, right?
I don't either, and that's actually why I played this kind of the same way, but I went with one of his receivers. I look at Lockett tonight, and I see 5 catches, and I think he's going to go over that. I see a scenario where, this is either going to be a high-scoring game, or Seattle's going to be behind and having to kind of come back. So I think you're going to see him go to maybe it's not his most explosive receiver, but his most trusted receiver.
Well, he has Ramsey on Metcalf, so that
he has Ramsey on Metcalf, so it's go to the other
Gerald
side.
Yeah,
I could see Lockett with something like 7 catches for 75, something along those lines, pushing over. I know our guy David Eversole on the Seattle side liked Carson over, I believe, 37.5 rushing yards. That one's dicey for me, David.
Yeah. So we're on the same page on that one, right? Okay.
Yeah, I just think that, and again, I love this because Eversole's not going to jump in here, so he can't challenge us because he's producing. But yeah, I'm not. We'll get into it, I guess, on Twitter tonight if he's right. But I just don't see it. I think you're right. The Rams have been stout against the run. I don't know that's necessarily going to be a huge priority for Seattle. I think, look, if you're Seattle, I think in this game, I know you're at home, but I think this is going to be on Russell Wilson.
I haven't seen if Carson's even playing yet. He's been questionable all week with a neck injury.
I feel like he's been questionable for 3 years. That's my question. That's my question with him. But the other one on the Rams side, he likes was a Higbee over 4 catches, correct? So I think he went that direction there. Do you see anything on the Rams side? I saw Stafford is 295.5. I believe.
Yeah, same thing. Like I don't want to touch, and my other pick would have been Henderson over. I think it's 69.5 rushing yards. Mm-hmm. Like I think, and the opposite end of that, Seattle gives up a ton of rushing yards. Like that's how you play them. So on the flip side of that, like the Stafford thing, they could win by 30, and he doesn't have a crazy game. I don't really know what to expect there. Henderson has hit 70 yards, I think, 2 out of 3 times. Mm-hmm. They're going to run the ball. So that would be my second pick there.
Yeah, I kind of like that one too. I think that one makes some sense. And I like your pick for Wilson. I would go over on Wilson. I could have gone either direction. The Metcalf yardage was a little high for me. That's why I stayed away from it. I think mid-70s somewhere. But you can certainly make a case for it. I just think, we keep getting back to this yardage versus receptions discussion. I just think that receptions is easier to predict than rushing. I do agree with David about that.
Yeah,
than yardage.
No, for sure. And the general idea with that is like a game against the Rams, where it's Jalen Ramsey. I don't really see Metcalf having a big game. I could see him going 5 for 50, and that being a good game against Jalen Ramsey, right? So. He just shut down Hopkins basically last week. So it's not that crazy to think your Lockett pick is there. And,
So that's where I'm going. So I'm going to go Lockett over 5. You're going over Wilson on passing yards, which I said I like as well. And again, David Eversole going with Chris Carson over on rushing, Higbee over on receptions. And I think both you and I on Henderson, I know you like it a little bit. I'm kind of in the middle there. over, and then
I'll
Stafford,
text you when it happens.
Yeah, we'll text you when it happens. And I think Stafford we're both staying away from, even as good a year as he's having. Just hard to say if they're going to be playing from ahead or behind in this game. Go to PrizePicks.com. Use the code 5. Starting in, about a week and a half, you can start playing NBA. We're not really getting into the NBA preseason stuff now or the future stuff, but when we start doing the daily stuff, yes. You're going to want to check out what we're doing here at PrizePicks. We'll be bringing in Greg Sylvander to work with us on that as well. So go to PrizePicks.com. Use the code FIVE.